कर्म प्रधान विश्व करी राखा, जो जस करे सो तस फलु चाखा. As you sow, so shall you. Nowhere it says, as you sow, so shall I reap. You can only do that when you plant bora. So if I chant, I get blessing, and if you chant, you get blessing. Like so many wonderful things in life. If you are sick, you have to take the medicine. And you say, if that mother feels sorry for the child and the child is sick and the mother takes the medicine for the child, well, the mother will die from medicine and the child will die from sickness. The one who is sick, he has to take the medicine. In the same way, the law of karma is like that. The one who does the action, he gets the blessings. So all should chant to get their own blessings. Simple kirtan. Don't miss the opportunity. All of us have, karma account. That karma account in Sanskrit is called as sanchita karma. What is it called? Sanchita karma. And every time we do any act, we put that act in that storehouse of sanchita karma. And only what you put there you will eat. If you buy milk and put in your fridge, and next morning you go and open your fridge, what you will get? Milk or orange juice? Milk only, isn't it? So whatever we put in that sanchita karma, only that we will get. Radhe 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 Govinda. Sab gaiye.
Radhe 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 Govinda.
Radhe 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 Govinda.
Radhe 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 Govinda.
Radhe 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 Govinda. Radhe Radhe
Radhe Radhe Govinda.
Radhe 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 Govinda.
Radhe 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 Govinda.
Radhe 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 Govinda.
Radhe 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 Govinda.
Radhe 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 Govinda.
Radhe 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 Govinda.
Radhe 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 Govinda.
Radhe 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 Govinda.
Radhe 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 Govinda.
Radhe 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 Govinda.
Radhe 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 Govinda.
Radhe 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 Govinda.
Radhe 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 Govinda.
Radhe 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 Govinda.
Krishna Mukunda
Krishna Mukunda.
Bal Govinda.
Bal Govinda.
कृष्ण कन्हैया लाल की जय। ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः. ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः. ओम श्री गुरुदेवाय नमः. ओम पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् नमोस्तुते व्यास विशाल बुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्र नेत्र येन त्वया भारत तैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमय प्रदीपः प्रपन्न पारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्स सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। श्रीकृष्णा शरणं मम 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 श्रीकृष्णा शरणं
Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri 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 Krishna Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Antakālica māmeva smaran muktva kavevaram Krishna Sharanam प्रयाति समद्भावं याति नास्त्यत्र संशयः श्रीकृष्णा शरणं मम श्रीकृष्णा शरणं मम यं पापि स्मरन् जगत्यन्ते कलेवरं श्रीकृष्णा शरणं मम श्रीकृष्णा शरणं मम तं तमेव हि कौन्तेय सदा तद्भावभावितः श्रीकृष्णा शरणं शरणं मम श्रीकृष्णा शरणं मम श्रीकृष्णा शरणं मम कृष्ण कन्हैया लाल की जय। Okay, thank you so much, Haridev ji, and all the members of this wonderful temple for having me here tonight. Let me just tell you quickly what we are doing in Guyana. We are doing the whole Bhagavad Gita, every single verse, in 108 nights. So we are going in 108 temples from here to Pomeroon in Essequibo. We'll be visiting 108 temples and we'll be doing the whole Bhagavad Gita in these 108 nights.
And that is an average of about 6 verses per night. And that has taken us now, we started on the 14th of January, which is Makar Sankranti. And now it has taken me here, which I just chanted, is verse number 5 and 6 of this 8th chapter. This is where we have reached. Verse number 5 and 6 of the 8th chapter. But these are not the verses for this temple tonight. This is just what we finished last night. And I chanted it so that I'll tell you a summary of where we are, because we have to keep this thread going, you know. So where we are, Bhagavan Shri Krishna is telling to Arjuna, Anta kale chamam eva smaran muktva kalevaram ya prayati samad bhavam yati. Now, the person who, this is a very famous line, I'm sure all of you have heard this before. The person who remembers me at the time of dropping this body, when we leave this body, because all of us will leave one day, isn't it? The world is made up of a duality. Who has come will also have to go. He said this way back in the 2nd chapter. Jatasya hi dhruva mrityu. Dhruvam janma mritasya cha. So who has come in this world will surely have to go. But don't worry, those who have gone again will have to come. That is what he said in the 2nd chapter. And here he says now, but those who remember me at the time of going, when I'm dropping this body, when I'm dying, in other words. People don't like to hear the word death, but what to do, right? That's the word. When we are dying, that time, if we remember Bhagavan Shri Krishna, he said, Sayati madbhavam. That person comes to me only. He merges with Bhagavan Shri Krishna. And the one who does not remember Bhagavan Shri Krishna, the second point now, yamyam vapi smaran bhavam yajatyante kalevaram tam tam evaiti kaunteya. That whatever we remember, there is where we go. That is the second point. Whatever we remember at that point, at the time of death, that is where we go. So there's a very simple formula. Who remembers Bhagwan at the time of death? They go to Bhagwan. And those who remember something else, they go to that something else. And therefore, he concludes this. This is summary of whole of last night's discourse. He concludes, therefore, Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu ma manusmara yudhyacha. That is in the next verse. That is the conclusion. Therefore, all the time remember me, so that you will come to me. Because some people try a trick. What is that? Whole life they don't remember Bhagwan, but they're thinking when I'm dying, I'll remember him that time. Well, you know, tricks don't work with Bhagwan. You may trick your neighbor and trick your husband and trick your wife or trick your children or trick your auntie or uncle, but you cannot trick Bhagwan. That doesn't work. He says, the only way that I will be able to remember him at the time when I'm dying, the only way I'll be able to remember him is sada tad bhava bhavitaha. That I have to have remembered him all my life. Then only, in the end, I will be able to remember him. And if I haven't done that, well, I will remember that whatever thing or whatever place or whatever person, and I will go there only. And why we have to merge with Bhagavan? And why do we have to attain this thing called as mukti and not come back in this world? Because Bhagavad Gita describes this world as a world of Dukkhayo evate, he says in the 5th chapter. A world filled with sorrow from beginning to end. Sorrow, sorrow, sorrow. All of us come in this world crying, isn't it? Anybody came laughing? No, 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 no. And if you come laughing in this world, they will think something is wrong with you. Correct or not? Then they'll give you up for adoption. Or they'll leave you somewhere. If you come laughing, isn't it? You have to come crying. Correct. Look at that. So our introduction into this world, the preface of our life is crying, crying, crying. And then when we are leaving also, again we go on crying. Oh, I don't know what will happen with my beta, what will happen with beti, what will happen with these grandchildren, and what will happen to my property, what will happen to the bank account and the land and all that. I don't know what will happen. So we also go crying. So we come crying and we go cry, 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 cry. Tell it, Jiva, cry baby only. He cries his whole life, one after the next. And then from childhood is one sorrow after that also, because you get all sort of pain and ailments and infirmities throughout the whole life, afflictions. Soon as we're born, I don't know here in Guyana what you used to, but when we were in Trinidad, in my time, in my generation, every child used to have belly griping, and they used to give them something called gripe water. So he cry and have belly gripe, so you give him gripe water. So he cry from that time also. All sorts of little pain, this, that, next thing. So like that, the Bhagavad Gita describes the life as a series of sorrow, one sorrow after the next. And let me tell you something about joy and sorrow, because in the second chapter, Sukha Dukhe Same Kritva Lava Lava Jaya Jaya, he talks about joy and sorrow in the beginning itself. Let me tell you about his joy and sorrow. You see if it is not true. Please pay attention and see. You have to do a little bit of reflection on this thing. If you like something, I don't know what you like in Guyana. In Trinidad, people like doubles. I think in Guyana, people like cassava ball. Correct? Right. If you like cassava ball, right? So you love cassava ball and sour. Now let me ask you, how many cassava ball you'll eat? You may eat 2, and some good sour. You may eat 3. If you eat 5, you start looking like a cassava ball also. So you can't eat so much. So you could only eat this. And how long it takes to eat 2 cassava ball? 5 minutes, let's say. So any joy in this world, any joy lasts 5 minutes. Let us be a little bit gracious and say 10 minutes. Joys are like that. Anything you love, it can only last 5-10 minutes. You just think now. You see, there are people who go on this roller coaster and they go like that. Like, have you seen? They go for joy only, isn't it? How long you last on that roller coaster? And after 3 minutes, the cassava ball come back. That's correct or not? So, joys last 3 minutes, 5 minutes, any kind of joy. But let me ask you something now about sorrows. In this world, sorrows last how long? You know, I was doing this Bhagavad Gita in one place in India, a place called Noida. I was doing Bhagavad Gita lecture. When I was finished, one Amma came. She was crying. I said, Amma, what happened? He said, Swamiji, my husband died and he left me. He died and left me. I said, Amma, hum kya kahenge? What we'll say, Jeevan to aisa hai, life is like that. Right? What you'll do? Sometimes some people come and they stay a long time. Sometimes some people come and they stay for a short time and they go. Life is like that. We don't know what to expect. He said, yes, but what right he has to die and leave me alone? He said, well, this question became more difficult now. What I reply to that, I said, Amma, that is what to do. That's Bhagwan's work, We really can't say who will come and who will go. It's all Bhagwan's work. But I said, anyway, Amma, when did he die? Now, the way she crying and the way she talking, I thought he died last week. I said, when did he die? 12 years ago. So now, how long that sorrow last? And she's still crying now. We don't know when she'll stop. So sorrows, they never know. And joy, any joy, how much jalebi you will eat? How much jalebi you will eat? And one husband and the wife, they were sitting in a wedding party like this, right? In wedding they have a lot of food. But they were eating. And when they finished eating, the wife got up and she went over there. And there was a counter over there with a lot of nice gulab jamun. Gulab jamun, lot of nice gulab jamun there. So she brought 2 gulab jamun and she came here and she ate. husband is watching. After finished, she went back there, brought two again and came here and ate. After that two, when she again went there, came here and ate two again. So the husband said, "Hey girl, what is the matter with you? You're not feeling ashamed? Every time you go there, people see you take two, what do you think?" She said, "I am not ashamed. Why I will be ashamed? Every time I go there, I tell them I'm bringing it for you. Why should not feel shame?" But that also has an end. I mean, you lead 2, you lead 4, you lead 6, but that will have some end. After you start feeling upset, isn't it? So joys are like that. So the sansar, when the rishis of yore, when they inspected the samsara, they realized samsara nature is like this. The joys last 5 minutes and the sorrows last a whole life. And you know we carry our sorrows in the next life too. So the proposition, the proposal given by the rishis is what? The Tulsidas Ji Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Yavar Ramachandra ki jai. Tulsidas Ji writes in a very famous verse in Uttarakhand, in what is called as Purajana Gita. In the end, Bhagwan Sri Ram is speaking. Bare bhage manushatan pava sur dullabha sab granthan hi gawa. So fortunate we are to get this human body. Why? Because through this human body, sadhana dham moksha karadvara, that it is a doorway to moksha. This human body, we can do sadhana and make this human body a doorway to moksha. Moksha means to merge with Bhagwan. So that is what these two verses and last night lecture and all of that was about. And what we have to do then, strive, Bhagwan tells, we have to remember him. This is number 7 now. So this is why we have to continue here tonight. See this thing. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Tasmat
सर्वेषु कालेषु मामनुस्मरयुध्य च।
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
मय्यर्पिता मनो बुद्धिः मामे वैश्यस्य संशयम्।
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
मय्यर्पिता मनो बुद्धिः मामे वैश्यस्य संशयः।
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. Tasmat. See, if I want to remember Bhagwan at the end, don't try any tricks and say that I will remember Bhagwan at the end. I have to remember him throughout my whole life, and at the end it will just be natural. Like that. Huh? Like some people, they don't want to study. And when they go in the exam, they want to keep a sheet of paper under the desk and cheat. Correct? So you don't want to study the whole term, but you want to take a piece of paper under the desk and cheat. This thing is not good. Even if you pass the exam, by cheating, that doesn't mean to say that you know any of the stuff that was taught, isn't it? And you know, sooner or later, the truth will come out. So we just have to live a straight life, straight moral, ethical life, like that. So this also calls for straight moral, ethical, upright living. I remember Bhagwan throughout my life, and so at the end it will become very easy for me to remember. And now I'm going to tell you about the structure of this 8th chapter. In the beginning of this 8th chapter, Arjuna asked Bhagwan Shri Krishna 7 questions. Arjuna asked 7 questions. And now listen to the numbers. The 8th chapter has 28 verses. 28 verses. So if 7 questions are asked, Bhagwan has to take average about 4 verses to answer each question. 7 4 is 28. But that doesn't happen. In the first 2 verses where Bhagwan speaks, he dishes up the first 6 questions. He eliminates the first 6 questions, answer them very fast in 1 word or 2 words. And the last question, which Bhagwan answers, he takes the whole chapter to answer that question. That means to say, that is the most important question, isn't it? So now, what is that question? The question Arjuna asked to Bhagwan, very simple question. Prabhu, antakale cha mameva, not antakale cha mameva, let's see that. There. Prayana kale cha katham nyeyosi niyatatmabhihi. Katham nyeyosi means, how am I to remember you at the time of death? So this is the question actually Bhagwan is answering right now. How am I to remember you at the time of death? Well, the short answer for that is very good, easy to answer. What is that? You have to remember me your whole life, and then at the time of death it will be easy. That is all. That is the short answer. Now Arjuna's next question will be naturally, okay Prabhu, then how to remember you all my life then? But Bhagavan gives 2 things. So now one is in this verse which we just chanted. Now see here, I'll have to back up a little bit and tell you Bhagavan's answer. You know, we have 3 parts of our personality.
Three parts of this personality. So we have this physical part here, right? So with this physical part, we do actions, you know what we say? We lift this thing, right? So that's the first part of the personality, called the deha, body, sharira. So we do actions, physical actions. The next part is called the emotional part, our heart, where we feel all emotion. I feel sad, glad, mad, bad, all kind of thing. Huh? Emotion. We are feeling all day. Like, you know, I feel to eat this and I feel to eat that. And there's no logic or rationality and all. You don't know why. Like some people feel to eat this food or that food. And if you ask why, no, I just feel. I'm just feeling. That is the second part of the personality. It's called the emotional part or the heart. And the third part of the personality, last part, that is called intellect. With the intellect, we do all planning and calculating and deciphering and logical rationalization and all such things we do. You know, mathematics and all that. Like for example, if the teacher asks you 2 plus 2, well, there's no feeling in that, you know. Either you know or you don't know. You can't tell the teacher, I feel it might be like about 22. There's no feeling there. Either you know the thing or you don't know. Or you have to do the logic, the calculation. Okay, you have, like the boy comes home from school and the father said, little boy, beta, what you learn in school today? We learn addition. Oh, addition. Acha, theek hai. If you have 2 oranges and I give you 2 more oranges, how many oranges you will have? That boy said, I don't know. So the father said, but you told me you learn addition. How you don't know? He said, because the teacher only taught us how to add apples. The teacher did not teach how to add orange. Now, at that age, we cannot really perform the intellectual task of adding or seeing, or the same way you add oranges is the same way you add apples. Somebody has to explain and then develop. But anyway, that is the third part of the personality, where we do all rationalization and logical thinking and planning and calculation and all such things, right? Deciphering and all. So these are the 3 parts of the personality. Bhagavan is telling in this verse here, a simple thing. And throughout the Bhagavad Gita, all the 3 parts you use for me. What we do, we use all the 3 parts, not for Bhagavan, but we use for our, because all the time, see, we do, when you have a feeling, when I feel into eat star apple, so the feeling is mine. I don't care what he feeling, you know. I don't care what anybody else feels. I want star apple. So you only care about your feeling, correct or not? I care only about my feeling. And whatever I'm doing all day, I'm going to work with this body. I'm doing all the actions. So many things I'm doing all day. What you doing for the neighbor or what? We are doing for? Yes. And the last thing, we go on thinking, calculating, planning and all that. Planning for who? Self. In that formula, Bhagavan is absent. The Lord is absent. So teaching of the Bhagavad Gita, use all these 3 faculties to dedicate all what you are doing, whether at the physical level, emotional level or intellectual level, dedicated to Bhagavan. Like for example, people don't think that this is difficult. This is not difficult. Look here. Right now you are taking care of your children, right? So you use this body to take care of your children, use your emotions to, give love to your children and all that, and you use your intellect to plan for their future and so many things, right? That time what we should be doing, usually we do, this is my child, and I want my child to become good, and I want my child to attain this and achieve that, and actually what householders and parents end up doing, grihasthas end up doing is using the success of that child to get political mileage or to get social mileage. Now that is wrong parenting. I am supposed to have this attitude. See, what I say by social mileage, what I mean, right? When my child does better than the neighbor's child, I feel good. That is wrong parenting. Correct parenting in Dharma Shastras is this thing. Bhagwan has sent this child into my house. This child was in some other family's house somewhere in the world, and they died there, and Bhagavan sent that child in my house. And so I am taking care of that child for the Lord. This is proper parenting in Sanatana Dharma. I am taking care of that child for the Lord. So that's what it means to say, Maya Arpita Mano Buddhihi Mam Eva Eshyasi Asamsayaha. Means to say, the person who really dedicates or surrenders his body, mind and intellect to me, body, heart and intellect to me, that person certainly will remember me at the time of death, and the person will merge with me, undoubtedly. But if whole life I am only thinking about myself. See, human beings, we are born selfish. And please remember this. All of us are born selfish. But if you are born selfish and you live till 80 years and you die selfish also, then in that lifetime any evolution has taken place? No evolution has taken place. If I am born selfish, I am supposed to evolve and become selfless. This is this word in our Shastras. From selfish to selfless. This is called from swartha to parartha. These are the words in Sanskrit. Swartha to parartha. You have to grow out of the selfishness. So Bhagavan is telling that person who spends his life doing this type of thing, he will remember me at the time of death. And if I remain selfish, I will see when I am dying, I'll remember my selfish thing. Isn't it? He continues now. If this is difficult, well, Bhagavan has the answer, because human beings are quick to complain everything difficult. Let me tell you something about human being. Last night I told at that temple also. If you tell this human being something good to do in his life, he will complain and find 100 excuses why he should not do that thing. Good thing. And if you tell him anything bad, he will not find any excuse. He will do it. Look here. If you tell somebody, eat a healthy diet, right? Eat healthy food. Then he'll, but Swamiji, that thing tasteless. And just as it tasteless, it also don't look good. He'll find this excuse and that excuse and the other excuse. The healthy thing, But if you give that fellow the unhealthy food, did he ask any question? No. He gobbled down that like nothing. Unhealthy thing. And the whole civilization is like that. So anything good he finds excuse. Anything bad he finds no excuse. This is a human being. But Bhagavan says no. Choose the good thing and then do what? That is in number 8 now, see. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, 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 Shri Krishna Sharanam Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Adhyaso Yoga Yogdena Chetasana Kamina, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Paramam Purusham Divyam Yati Pathanam Chintayan, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, 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 Shri Krishna Kanaya Lal Ki Jai. The key word in this verse is very small word, and Bhagavan likes this word. This word again will come back in the 9th chapter and so many places. And it is a very ordinary word which we have to apply in all departments of life. You know, if you're going to learn to play tennis, right? You take the racket and I'll tell you a real story. I was having a yajna in one of these islands, and I had taken with me a tabla player, right, from Trinidad. So the ashram that we're having the yajna is right next to the beach. So in the daytime, we went to the beach. And this tabla player, he doesn't know how to swim. Right? So I was surprised that he doesn't know how to swim. He said, Swamiji, you will show me how to swim? Yeah, come. So I showed him how to swim and all. So he tried it out. And he went from here to like where Panditji is sitting here. This distance, right? I said, good, you got it. He said, really? I said, yes, you got it. He said, now you think I'll go to that other island there? He's asking me whether he'll make it to the other island. I didn't now learn to swim in 1 minute, and you already want to swim to the other island, because we could see the other island that was there. Well, it doesn't come that easy, isn't it? If you want to learn to play tennis, you can't just go and hit the ball one time and say, I hit it, and now I know how to play tennis. It doesn't work like that. You have to go on practicing. You ask this drummer, and you ask tabla players, and ask people, when they have to learn that instrument, how much of practice, isn't it? But that is the word Bhagavan uses in the first word in this verse here. Abhyasa yoga yuktena. Abhyas is the word. Abhyas means practice. And the idea is, you have to remember Bhagavan throughout the life, and then only you will be able to remember him at the end. And if I don't practice that thing throughout the life, well, no hope of remembering him at the end of the life, you see. So I have to go on practicing remembering Bhagavan. And I'll tell you, last night I gave this example, let me give it here again. You see the fellow who is driving, right? The man who is driving, and especially in the old days, he has a steering wheel, right? And he has indicator on this side, up, down. Then he has accelerator, he has clutch, he has brakes, he has gear, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and all on this side. And he has a rearview mirror on here. So he's looking in the rearview mirror, giving indicator, pressing accelerator, pressing clutch, pressing brakes, turning steering wheel, and doing all of that, right? How many things he's doing simultaneously? So many things he's doing simultaneously. And when you tell him, my dear, whatever work you are doing every day, you're cooking, you're washing, you're driving, you're on the computer, you remember Bhagavan that time. So he's only doing one thing, and you're telling him, while doing that, remember Bhagavan also. He says, no, Swamiji, how I'll remember Bhagavan when I'm doing my work? And especially nowadays, people work on Facebook and all kind of thing, right? A lot of things going on. So he has quickly comes up with an excuse. If I'm concentrating on my work, if I'm concentrating on driving, if I'm concentrating on my, whatever I'm doing, how I'll remember Bhagavan. But I'm telling you, every day, we multitask all the time. We call multitasking. We do it all the time. So we should not find excuse when it comes to sadhana, spiritual sadhana of the Shastras. Whatever we are doing, I have to remember Bhagavan. Mam anusmara is in the previous verse which he told. And that has to be practice. So in this verse, the word is practice. And he says, such a person who practices, paramam purusham divyam yati, he goes and merges with the Supreme Personality, Paramatma. O Partha anuchintayan. Having remembered Bhagavan all the life, I will certainly merge with him. Like that. Okay. Now, which Bhagavan? Now in the next verse, in a few verses and all, that Bhagavan is described. See this. Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna. Sab gaye.
Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
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 Shasitaram.
Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Panoraniyam Smaredyah.
Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Panoraniyam Smaredyah.
Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Sarvasya dhataram achintya rupam.
Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Aditya varnam tamasah parastar.
Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Bhajan kale nisachalena.
Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Bhatyayokto yogambalena. Jai
Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Bhurmadye pranamaveshya samyak.
Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Satam param guru sampati devyam.
Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Krishna Kanaya Lal ki jai. In Bhagavad Gita, there are two types of meters. When you get an opportunity, please pay attention to this. Why I'm telling you this, I want you to appreciate. I want you to appreciate the immaculate cultural heritage which becomes your own property, something that was handed down to us by the rishis. It will blow your mind when you study it. It will blow your mind. It is not any simple, wishy-washy, fly-by-night kind of thing, These verses of Bhagavad Gita, they're 700 in number. They are written in two different types of meters. One is called as Anushtup and the other is called as Trishtup. In Anushtup meter, about 75% of the verses are Anushtup meter. There are 32 syllables, exact, no syllable missing anywhere. 32 syllables each in every verse. And this one which I just chanted is called as Trishtup. There are 44 syllables and not a syllable missing anywhere. And there are so many rules that the rishis had to study to do this thing.
Like, for example, the 5th syllable in the first line should be long syllable, and the 7th syllable should be a short syllable, and they have to follow all of these rules and keep the exact number of syllables and get the meaning through and get the philosophy through and the ethics and the morality and metaphysics and everything through to us by following every rule. It is so intricate, it will blow our mind. And that is the cultural heritage which our rishis gave to us. And that I am so sad when I know people leave gold and go and take up tinsel paper. You will leave gold and go and take up cigarette paper on the side of the road? People leave this rich cultural heritage to go and take up other things. But anyway, it is the first step is for us to appreciate that. So what we just chanted is different from the previous verses. They were anushtup. This thing is called a trishtup. Now, Bhagavan is telling that you have to practice remembering him. Whatever I am doing all day, I have to practice remembering the Lord. And if I do that well, at the end, I will be able to remember him and I will merge with him, never to come back in this world of birth and death, birth and death, birth and death. And how many times in the 4th chapter, Bhagavan told Arjuna, how many times we have all come? Bahuni me vyatitani janmani. Countless times we have all come. Not just once. Again and again and again and again. We come back in this world and go through the same thing. So this is how we remember Bhagavan. He's called Kavim Puranam Anushasitaram Anoraniyam Samanusmaredya. Kavim means Bhagavan is omniscient. Bhagavan knows past, present and future. He knows everything about all beings. He knows all of our past, present and future about all beings. Everything about all beings. So we may not know where I was in my last life and where I am going in my next life and all that. We don't know. But Bhagavan knows everything. And therefore, that is why we should all be true to our own selves, because Bhagavan already knows. We should not be trying to hide anything, but Bhagavan knows already. See? Be true to ourselves. Kavim Puranam Anushasitaram. Puranam means Bhagavan is ancient. Ancient in Sanskrit language, Puranam means it is beginningless. Paramatma, Bhagavan is beginningless. And so we also are beginningless. We have always been there. In the 2nd chapter, he started his teaching like this. You were always there. And in some form, in some body, some place, we are always there. I want you to pay strict attention to this. Bhagavan is Puranam, ancient, Anadi, beginningless, but so are we. Alright. Anushasitaram. This is a wonderful word. Anushasitaram means, you see, when we reflect on all of these words like this, we're actually reflecting on Paramatma. And so we'll spend our life doing that. And when we spend our life reflecting on Paramatma like that, at the end it will be easy to remember Paramatma. Otherwise, what we are thinking about? We're thinking about, what is going to play in the lottery tomorrow, or what the price of Bora gone up in the market. Aero these days expensive. We're thinking about all the worldly things only, and we forget Bhagavan totally. I don't know, I'm just telling, I don't know what people are thinking about. But anyway, Bhagavan is Anushasitaram. Anushasitaram means he is the one who is the embodiment of every single rule in this universe. This universe works only by rules. You have not given thought to it maybe, but everything is a rule. Look here, for instance. I have to talk, right? If I have to say Bhagavan, you wouldn't believe the complexity of that simple action. If I have to say Bhagavan, first I have to conceptualize, and there's a complex process that goes on inside also. The rishis told that whole process also. It's called Para Pashyanti Madhyama and Vaikari. Means that has to go through a process for Bhagavan to come out. So when Bhagavan comes out, it goes through this microphone and goes to the amplifier and gets amplified, and then it comes through the speakers, and from the speakers it has to go through the air, and then it goes to your ear. And the tympanic membrane there gets vibrated, and it creates an electrical impulse which goes to your brain. And when that brain, that impulse is interpreted or recognized or some such thing happens, right? Then you know, oh, he uttered the word Bhagwan. The process is absolutely intricate, and still science also cannot figure out every element of it. Why and wherefore and whence. And it is, and this is the last point, and this is why that word is come. It is governed by rules. If one of the rule is broken, you can't understand anything I say. And now I just told you for one word, for one thing in the universe, how many rules have to be followed. And the rules have to hold. Now this universe is governed by infinite number of rules. And the Sanskrit word for rule is called as ish. Ish means to rule. And shas means to rule. There are two synonyms, shas and ish. So from that ish comes Ishvara. He is the ruler of the whole universe. And here shas is coming, the other synonym. So Bhagwan is the embodiment of the infinite number of rules that hold the whole universe together. That is the idea. So now I have to remember that if everything I'm enjoying in life, if the rules were not held together, I would not be able to enjoy anything. You see, like a simple rule, I tell you. Whoever is born must. That's the rule. Anybody could break it? Try now. Try. Now one more thing. Isn't it a good thing that whoever is born must die? That rule is good or bad? That rule is good. Absolutely good. Can you imagine if your great grandfather, greater than great grandfather, was still alive? There would have been no space on the earth, correct? Where you would live? The rule is a good rule. All rules are good rules. So, all the rules that govern the universe like that, all those rules put together is called as Ishvara. Actually, if you want to conceptualize Ishvara like that, is the best. And I told you in the beginning, the first sentence which I spoke today, is the rule is, so you sow, so you shall. That's the rule. It could never be that I sow, I do some action and you get the result. That does not happen. The rule is the rule. You see? So he's called Anushasitaram. Anoraniyam samanusmarityaha. Anoraniyam means Bhagwan is subtler than the subtlest, finer than the finest. So in this universe, science goes down. Molecules and atoms and electrons, protons, neutrons, strings, quarks, neutrinos, and all the way down, they are going down. Science has gone so deep. And Bhagwan is subtler than the last thing which they have found also. The last thing which they have found is energy. It's a whole big energy field. So now Bhagwan is subtler than that also. That is the meaning of Anoraniyam. And that thing is called as Sat in Sanskrit. Have you heard Sat Chit? Anand. The subtlest thing in the universe is Sat. So Bhagwan is that Sat. Sarvasya Dhataram Achintya Rupam. Sarvasya Dhataram means he is the one who upholds the whole universe. Achintya Rupam. And our little mind can never conceptualize that Paramatma which is infinite. That is the idea. Now see, this hand can hold this little thing, right? But can you take this hand and hold the earth and lift it? No, the little hand cannot hold the earth. In the very same way, our little mind cannot understand Paramatma. That is the meaning of Achintya Rupam. Aditya Varnam Tamasat Parastat. Aditya word means sun, Surya Bhagwan. And this Paramatma is like the light of the sun beyond all darkness. You know, Surya Bhagwan does not know what is darkness. Surya Bhagwan cannot know what is darkness. You know, Surya Bhagwan has a charioteer. His name is Aruna. Aruna is his charioteer, right? So one day, Aruna came to work late. He is driving the chariot of Surya Bhagwan. So Aruna came to work late. So Surya Bhagwan asked, what happened? You came to work late today. You're not supposed to come to work late. He said, sorry, Prabhu, I overslept. He said, you sleep? Now Surya Bhagavan also doesn't know what is sleep, because he's all the time moving. So he doesn't know what is sleep also. So he said, you sleep? Yes, I sleep. And it was nice dark night, and place was pitch dark, and I slept even more. So Surya Bhagavan said, dark night? What is dark night? He said, you don't know what is dark? So Surya Bhagavan said, no. So Aruna said, oh, look at this. You don't know what is sleep. You don't know what is dark. Come by my house. I will show you what is dark. Right? So he took Surya Bhagavan to his house. Now you go under the bed and look. Under my bed is always dark. So when Surya Bhagavan goes under the bed to look now he's Surya Bhagavan, he's shining, right? The bed, under the bed will have darkness. How it will have darkness? So Surya Bhagavan does not know what is darkness. He cannot know what is darkness, because wherever he goes to see the darkness. So now here it says Aditya Varnam Tamasa Parastat. Paramatma is beyond all darkness of ignorance. That is what the meaning is. You have heard, na? Asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya. Yes. So lead me from darkness to light. So that Paramatma is said to be the light of knowledge. Don't imagine in your mind that Paramatma is like shining like a light. Otherwise, people, I don't know, sometimes people go and they meditate like this and they say, concentrate on your forehead and you'll see a light and all that kind of thing. Don't try that kind of thing. Bhagavan is not a light. You might become light-headed. Bhagavan is not a light. Bhagavan is the light of consciousness. Consciousness is described like a light. It has a symbolic language. Don't imagine in your head that Bhagavan is like a flame, or Bhagavan is like this, or Bhagavan is like that. The light is used as a symbol for the light of consciousness, pure awareness. Bhagavan is Sat Chit. That Chit is awareness, consciousness. Alright, so like that, he is Aditya Varnam Tamas Parastat, beyond all darkness of ignorance. It means there is no iota of ignorance in Bhagavan. And in us, oh, so much of ignorance. Prayana kale manasachalena bhaktya yukto yoga balena chaiva. That at the time of prayana kale means when I am going, I have to collect now my attention, my concentration, my mind, and with great devotion remember Bhagavan. This is what this verse is telling. With all my spiritual practice, my whole life, I collect it. And I remember the Lord and forget about all this family and money and land and this, and forget everything in this world. Manasa achalena. Remove all things and keep the mind fixed on Paramatma only. And with great love, that time, Bhrovar Madhye Pranamavesha Samyak Satam Purusham Upaiti Divyam. That person goes to the Supreme Being. That is what the verse is saying. Which Supreme Being is again described in number 11. Now let me check the time. I know Pandit said I can go on. But Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna. Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna. Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna, Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna, Yadaksharam Vedavito Vadanti, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Yad
यदि छन्दो ब्रह्मचर्यं चरन् जय हरे कृष्ण मुकुन्द कृष्ण सत्ये परं संवरेण प्रवक्ष्ये जय हरे कृष्ण मुकुन्द कृष्ण जय कृष्ण कन्हैया लाल की जय यदक्षरं वेदविदो वदन्ति. All the people who are knowledgeable, wise, Mahatmas and saints and sages, they call this Paramatma as Aksharam. Yad Aksharam Vedavido Vadanti. Those wise people, they have put a name for this Paramatma, for Bhagwan. They call him Akshara. Akshara means who never perishes. Who never perishes. So the Lord never goes away. Vishanti yadyatayo vitaragaha. And that Lord is the one who we all enter. Who? These people who strive and who develop this passion, Vairagya. We enter into that Lord. That Lord is being described. Yadichanto brahmacharyam charanti. And people practice all brahmacharya and all different types of sadhanas to reach that Lord only. Tatte padam sangrahena pravakshe. My dear Arjuna, briefly I am telling you about that Lord. That is the Lord who is called in Ramayana. See, Tulsidas ji speaks about that Lord. Jaya Rama, Shri Ram Jaya Rama, Shri Ram Jaya Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Ram Jaya Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama, Om Mal Chaitanya Syavara Ramachandra ki jai. So Bhagwan Shri Krishna is describing that Paramatma here, and Tulsidas ji is describing that Paramatma in Ramayana in a different type of language. But all the description is the same Paramatma. And how Tulsidas ji describes Bhagwan Shri Ram there, he says, Komala Chitra Ati Dina Dayal, that Bhagwan is tender-hearted. Bhagwan is tender-hearted and he is compassionate towards all of us for no reason. You see, we human beings who are mortal beings, who are limited beings, who are finite beings, we have to have some reason for everything we do. If we love somebody, it is because some reason. We're always looking for a reason. But Bhagwan loves all of us for no reason. That is Karana Binu Raghunath Kripal. But no reason, nature. You see, the sun doesn't shine for any reason. The sun just shines.
And when we can become like that, we just love humanity, love the world, love all of the manifested universe for no reason, then we are tending towards Bhagwan. Otherwise, right now we look for a reason for everything. We just have to learn to love unconditionally. That is called unconditional love. That is something we have to practice. That's why Bhagavan uses the word. And I told you again and again in this 6th chapter, 8th chapter, 9th chapter, he'll use this word, abhyas yoga yuktena, abhyasena tu kaunteya, vairagyena cha grihyate, in 6th chapter. Like that, practice. Again and again, to love unconditionally all beings and things in the universe. Alright, so now this is number 11, and I think I have gone on for a long time. I will stop and we will continue this thing tomorrow. Let me tell you where now. If you have the time, you please come. Tomorrow, Ten Monday. Is that far? That's real far, eh? Well, it's sounding kind of far. So, yeah, I know. I'm so sorry. But you could tune in, let somebody in the house put on Facebook and it'll come. Because right now it's coming live. A lot of people are listening everywhere, all in New York and Canada and all. It's good. So the right-hand guy, you could listen also. And Facebook. Okay. All right. I want to say a very special thank you to Pandit Dev Ji and all the executive members of this temple and all the devotees and all. Dev Ji worked really hard to put this satsang together, and I think he deserves a tremendous round of applause for having that. Yesterday, poor fellow, he was going around with this big mic funnel speakers and announcing, and he rushed and even came to the satsang there last night. So he has done a tremendous amount of work, and I have been telling for a long time, what we lack in our community is actually community leaders. And when I met him last night for the first time, I could immediately tell that you have a really wonderful community leader in your midst. We lack in our society community leaders, because no society can progress or proceed without good leaders. We need good leaders. And so you also have to encourage your children, and you yourself become leaders in your own right. We need leaders. If Bhagavan Shri Krishna was not there to lead Arjuna out of his predicament, we would not have had Sanatana Dharma today. So Bhagavad Gita itself is about leadership. The Gita is based on leadership. Arjuna collapsed, despondent, in despair. And he was the one to save Sanatana Dharma. And if the one who was to save Sanatana Dharma has collapsed, then what will happen to Sanatana Dharma? And Bhagavan didn't give him a kick. Bhagavan had given him a thapar. Bhagavan had to lead him out of that stupor. Bhagavan had to lead him out of that tamas and that decadent state, and lead him to the battlefield to do his work. We need leaders, and I am very delighted to have met a wonderful community leader in Pandit Dev. All right, so thank you so much for organizing this satsang, and we hope that in future we will come back again to this temple and join in satsang in some way. All right, here is a bookmark we have printed for this occasion. It says 108 nights Bhagavad Gita Yajna in 108 temples across Guyana. 108 mandir. So it is printed for this occasion. Please have one. We have printed for everybody. Bookmark, keep it in your book. 20 years from now you'll see it and I was present there. That happened to me. I collected so many bookmarks in India, and now when I'm reading a book 25, 30 years later, I was there. Like that. So please collect that bookmark. One is there for everybody. All right. I want to tell you about the Vedanta course, and you please tell it to others also. The Vedanta course is a course which the Chinmaya Mission offers only in 2 places in the world. One is in Mumbai and one is in Trinidad. So what is this course? Those people who want to become swamis and brahmacharis and want to dedicate their life to do this work and this work alone, they have to go through this course. So it is a 2-year course, and the timetable is like this. You spend 2 years in the ashram, you cannot leave, and there are no holidays. Classes are there every single day, Saturday, Sunday, Christmas, Diwali, Boxing Day, everyday classes. No holidays. That's first thing. Second thing is, classes start at 5:30 in the morning, 5:30 a.m. and end in the night at 8 o'clock. And no holidays. Whatever we cover in 2 years in that ashram setting is what you'll cover in a university setting in 15 years. That is the volume of work which is covered. Sanskrit and all the Vedic texts and Bhagavad Gita and Upanishads and Ramayana and Bhagavatam and all these things are taught. Right. So now the qualification is the person must be 30 years and under, the person must be unmarried, and the person must have a university degree. And if such qualification is there and the person is willing, then they accept it, and everything is paid for by the ashram. The ashram takes care of everything. And when it is over also, Chinmaya Mission does not have any obligation placed on anybody. If that person wants to stay and work for the community, that person can stay and work. If that person wants to go back and do whatever they want to go back and do, they can go back. We have absolutely no obligation. This is called selfless service to the community. Right? There's no demand, no obligation, nothing. All right. So that course starts in Trinidad. One batch is going on in Mumbai right now. One batch is happening in Mumbai as we speak. I also will be going there to do some teaching later on this year. But the Trinidad batch starts on the 2nd of October. 2nd of October, Trinidad batch starts, and it goes for 2 years. Okay. Now, if there's no person interested here, you might know somebody who is interested, right? So please pass the message. And the last announcement is, this 108 nights will conclude on the 3rd of May at the Gandhi Youth Cricket Ground in Georgetown. Last day, Gandhi Youth Cricket Ground in Georgetown, 3rd of May at 5 p.m. If you can make it to town, please do join. It will be nice to have all of you for the grand finale and conclusion of 108 nights across Guyana. Okay. When we are finished in Berbice, we are moving to Essequibo on that side. And the only chance we might have to see again is in Georgetown. All right. Okay. I think that's it. I will have Aarti. Bhagavad Gita Aarti. We do every night. And then we'll have conclusion. Okay. Aarti ke liye sab khade ho jaiye. Baad mein dekhenge. ओम जय भगवद गीते मैया जय भगवद गीते हरि हिय कमल विहारी हरि हिय कमल विहारी सुंदर सुपुनीते ओम जय भगवद गीते मैया जय भगवद गीते हरि हिय कमल विहारी हरि हिय कमल विहारी ओम जय भगवती धर्म सुधर्म प्रकाश कामा शक्ति हरामय कामा शक्ति सर्व ज्ञान विकास ज्ञान विकास विद्या ब्रह्म परा ओम जय भगवती निश्चल भक्ति
मय निर्मल मलहारी
करण रहस्य प्रदायिनी
रहस्य प्रदायिनी
सब विधि सुखदारी
ओम जय भगवती
भेष विधारी तारिणी मोद सदा मैया
तारिणी मोद सदा
भय हारिणी तारिणी
तारिणी
परमानंद प्रदाय
ओम जय भगवती
आसुर भाव विनाशी नाशिनी अमर रजनी मैया
नाशिनी अमर जनी
देवी सद्गुणदायिनी
देवी सद्गुणदायिनी
रसिका सजन
ओम जय भगवती
समता त्याग सिखाव हरिमुख की वाणी
मैया हरि मुख की वाणी
सकल शास्त्र जी स्वामी
सकल शास्त्र की स्वामी
श्रुतियों की रानी
ओम जय भगवती
दया सुखा बरसाओ मातु कृपा की है
मैया मातु कृपा की है
हरि पद प्रेम दान कर
हरि पद प्रेम दान कर
अपनो कर ली
ओम जय भगवती जय मय जय भगवती हरि कमल बिहारी हरि कमल बिहारी ओम जय भगवती
ओम जय मंगलम भगवान विष्णु मंगलम गरुड़ ध्वज मंगलम पुंडरीकाक्षम मंगलाय तनो हरि
मंगलम भगवान मंगलम गरुड़ध्वज मंगलम पुंडरीकाक्ष मंगलाय तनो हरि मंगलाय तनो हरि मंगलाय तनो
Let us all put our hands together. We take these last few moments to reflect on how absolutely indispensable Bhagwan is in our life. Bhagwan is our mother, our father, our friend, our companion, our learning, our wealth. But much more than that, Bhagwan is our very own self. He is the foundation of our being. And were He to pull away even for one moment, we'll evaporate into nothing. To that Lord who sustains us every moment of our life, we sing in praises as the Rishis sang in the old days. Om Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhush Chasakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Om Purna पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम। जोर से बोले बोले कृष्ण कन्हैया लाल की जय, श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय। नमः पार्वती पदे हर